Hello and welcome, RCSchim in the Hangar. Today I will show you the Insta360 OneX2. The funny story about this thing here is they contacted me because of my negative review. They wanted to convert me into an affiliate salesman person, asked me to change the title, not to take the video down, but they wanted to convince me that their new OneX2 is way better than the 1R. And sent me this for free, so thanks Insta for reaching out to RCSchim. And I think they do this a lot. I've seen other negative reviews of other Insta things and they contact them and you see what they are trying to do. But it's fine. They wanted to convince me that this thing is way better than the 1R. And in a way it really is. And you will see in my review what I mean with this. Let's just skip the usual unboxing and just show you this thing here. So it's very handy. The screen is nice. You see some behind the screens there, and me behind the cam. But you can also take a look in the whole studio. The dual lenses, as you see, they protrude quite a bit. That's why they have this lens cap as an accessory. But you also get this bag. It's like a neoprene sleeve. Store it this way and never scratch the lens. Or if you want to just protect the lenses, you can do it like this. So on one side you have just the power button and here is the record button, but you can set it to just turn it on with the record button, which is very convenient. Or you can also use voice commands like start recording. Apparently doesn't work now. Maybe I turned it off. So here's the accessory door for USB-C to charge or transfer files. And it should be waterproof if you close it correctly. The massive battery. So the battery door and the battery are combined. It's a 1630 milliamp. And this larger battery is the reason for the good battery runtime of 90 to 120 minutes, depending on the modes you're shooting in, compared to the 40 to 70 minutes of the Insta360 OneR. Here on the bottom we have the tripod thread, so you don't need an extra frame or something, you can just screw it on the mount. Maybe you have a GoPro mount with this tripod counterpart to mount it somewhere. And one of the standard accessories you should get is this invisible selfie stick. It's barely invisible to normal cameras, but if it's screwed onto this camera, about as thick as the cam itself, it kinda calculates it out so you really don't see it. It's like 1.5 meters long. And in itself, it also has a thread mount. You can mount it on top another selfie stick. But with this I can reach up to like 3 or 4 meters high. Imitate a drone shot or a dolly shot or like crane shots. Because it doesn't matter where you point it to. You can hold it in all kinds of movements. Hold it down a bridge like I did and get kind of impossible shots or new angles. You can get quite creative. I bet you can get way more creative than I did, but here are a few shots that I was able to capture with this. Please excuse the nasty weather we had, but at least we had some really big snowflakes. So if we want to compare the OneX2 to the One R, it's definitely exactly the same chip. It has a bit, I watched other reviews, and it has a bit different color science. Maybe this is a bit better colors, but this is, yeah, depends on your taste. And this thing has one exclusive like pure shot HDR photo mode where you can take cool pictures. While it has a few microphones on it to have a 360 surround sound or whatever, it doesn't sound very good. So if you have it standing somewhere and want to do a review, you should record like additional external microphone or audio. But yeah, to cover some action or some ambient noise, it's not bad. Wind noise suppression works to a degree, but what can you expect? In terms of editing the footage that you get with this, you can either just connect your phone to the cam wirelessly and edit everything on the phone, if you're that kind of person. Or you can transfer the files to your PC and edit it in the Insta360 Studio. To my surprise, the functions of the phone are way fancier. You can have like dual perspective and AI things. So the phone app tries to identify cool moments. They try to decide for you what's a cool shot and like help you edit the video. But to me, this is a toy function. Yeah, it's amazing what this thing can do, but it also drains your phone's battery very quick because it requires a lot of processing power on your phone. Yeah, but if you're on the go and if you want to edit a video down quick, you can do it with the phone, and that's cool. And yeah, it's a really good app, by the way. I used the PC Studio for all the editing because yeah, I want to use a mouse and I want to see it in full screen. The app on the PC is not flawless. For example, I edited in this drone review, I edited a quite long sequence and made a lot of keyframes, how to move the camera around to follow the drone. And at some point in time it was out of sync. So I made like a camera movement, and in the rendered file the camera movement was a few seconds behind, so it was useless. And I ended up re-rendering this and just a portion of the video. So if you have like 20-minute long video and have a lot of keyframes, it might not work. Maybe it's fixed in a newer version of the camera software. It can use the gyro data it recorded, and by that it can very accurately counteract the shakiness, the movements, and this works very, very nice. I like this approach a bit more than the Insta360 One R because this is a dedicated 360. I like the form factor more. This like portrait mode and not landscape mode form factor. The fact that it has this tripod thread built in comparison to the old OneX, which seemed a bit terrible from the reviews. It's cool that it has a proper screen here for settings. It has better battery life, and it's overall, of course, proper successor of the OneX. That's for sure. Because this is so wide angle, it has a high resolution. It's like 5.7K, and I made a lot of explanation about the resolution and how it works in my previous video. So go check out my Insta360 One R review if you are curious how this even works. If you're far away and zoom in, you of course lose resolution and the quality suffers a lot. So that's really my only main concern with 360 cams in general. They look so versatile and give you so much freedom as a filmmaker. But then again, if you zoom in, the quality looks shitty. So we are looking forward to these things having 8K or 16K in the future. So we have a lot of pixels, a lot of resolution, filling up our storage cards even faster. But being able to zoom in would be really nice, and then you have an extreme amount of freedom. So those cams are like the future, I guess, of action cams. Okay, now the difficult part. Would I recommend spending like what, $450 or even $500? I don't know. Look up the current pricing. It's quite expensive compared to a normal GoPro. If you just need the normal functions, the GoPro will have a sharper image. GoPro has a very, very nice stabilization as well. So if you're a conventional guy, rather go with the GoPro. And you don't have to use the GoPro 9. You can buy the GoPro 8 for cheaper, for example. But if you are curious about the 3D or the 360 functions, you have a lot of things to play around with. And that's why I sent back the initial 1R. This wears off quite quickly. So you play around with this new toy, and then is it really that useful for you? That's for you to decide. So that's something you should decide for yourself. On the 360 cam market, I think this is one of the better ones. Also check out the new Insta360 2. The initial Insta360, a very tiny white little thingy that could only record like 5 minutes, was a bit shitty. The Insta360 2, on the other hand, is very, very nice. Has a good sharpness and only like 30 grams that you can put on almost any drone. But from what I've seen, the Insta360 is a little bit too easily affected by cello, the vibration artifacts that you see in video, and that's not so nice, so you need an ND filter. But that may be part of a new review. Insta. I already asked them if they want to send me the Insta360, of course, and we will see about this. I also did a review about the Insta360 SMO 4K, which is this little plastic naked camera style. It was easily affected by cello as well, and I think this goes with all of those lightweight things. If you have like vibrating Mochas and this transfers to your camera, you have shitty image quality. On my 4-inch drones now, it looks like with ND filters, the footage is quite good. Did a shutdown quite often when I was recording 4K. Now I record in 2.7K 4:3 30 frames, and this way I didn't have any shutdowns, and that's sufficient high resolution for me. Image looks quite good for only 40 grams worth of camera. So that's a little tip if you search for good cams for your drones, either this, which is like $240, or the Insta360 2, which is $300. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching. Hope you found this review helpful. Leave me your questions or your feedback in the comments below. Please consider subscribing. I do a lot of reviews. You can check my playlist of camera reviews. I have like camera reviews since 2009, since the first GoPro came out. So I know a lot of them. I use them mainly for my drones. I don't want to tell you about this whole bell thing, it's annoying, but if you wanna always see my videos right when they come out, also use the bell icon. And if you want to support my channel even more, please consider my Patreon. It's linked in the description, of course. I have this nice little chalkboard here, like Elias did. Thanks, Elias, for becoming a new patron. Very much appreciated. You get a mention here in my video, and of course you see my posts on Patreon. Sometimes I do early facts of my reviews that are just in work in progress. And of course you can ask me anything there and I try to answer as quick as possible. But on the other hand, to be honest, I also answer in YouTube comments because I'm very, very curious about your thoughts and I really like to interact with you. So, that out of the way. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.